What is up, guys? It's Hyro once again, and I'm coming at you guys with another content of Cooking and Kingdom. Today I'm going to be doing an updated tier list on the treasures. Our 18th treasure has been added, and it's been about a week since it has been added, so I think it is fair enough for us to try to add it into our tier list that has been created back in July. Anyways, guys, if you guys find this video helpful, please hit that subscribe button and the like button, and also don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you guys don't miss out on any future Cooking and Kingdom videos that I upload on YouTube. Anyways, guys, with all that out of the way, let's get right into the video. Alright guys, so what I want to do with this August 2021 tier list with the addition of the Flamingo Tube is I want you guys to forget kind of about everything that I said in the July 2021 tier list, because I feel like that was a little too towards my arena team rather than the whole entire general arena team. Yes, I might have sounded and said a lot of those things, but arena meta has changed a lot since then, and also so I have been seeing a lot of different treasure usage in the teams that I've been currently playing against, so a lot of diamonds and masters. So I want to make this tier list so that it's more towards the meta currently, and so hopefully you guys can find this video helpful. Anyways, just keep in mind that this video and this tier list is all my opinion in the end, right? And you guys don't need to follow this tier list if you do not want to, so just keep that in mind. Anyways, let's get on with the tier list. So Lollipop is going to be A tier. Lollipop is a great treasure when it comes to that almond Tiger Lily Ginger Brave one-shot build. Any of the build that you guys currently use for that almond build, Lollipop is going to help your strongest cookie to basically one-shot that entire team. So you may lack some damage and crit. Having the Lollipop increases your attack and the crit, so will allow your main DPS to do even more damage. So I would say it's going to be a great treasure. It will not be at S tier, but A tier for arena, and also even during boss battles. This Lollipop is going to be great alongside this Slingshot. So I would say the Lollipop is going to be a great rare treasure, and it's also a rare one, so it's a great treasure for you to have. So that is going to be A tier. I'm already playing the healing staff at actually B tier. Yes, it does heal one of your cookies with all of the attack, or half of the attack combined of the all cookies in your team. However, it just doesn't feel like it's a viable treasure in many of the team comps. Rather than having that, I'll run something else, and just healing staff being an epic doesn't really do much for you. You have to be able to pull it, be able to upgrade it as well. So healing staff is going to be at a B tier for me. The coin pouch or the coin purse, whatever it's called, is going to be at a D tier. Obviously, you guys know why I don't like this treasure. It's just not great for the game. Just the fact that you're able to get a little bit extra coin in the story mode doesn't really help you. I would say if you want to get coins, or just gold in general, then obviously do the the tree of wish, and do all the wishes and get all the gold that you can, pretty much. Grinding out the story mode, yes, there are possible chances of you getting a little bit more gold, and if you guys are basically, only time I'll use this treasure is when you are grinding for toppings, and for sure without any of the treasures your team will still do great with just like having like a scroll and jelly watch. Then you can use the coin purse, or the treasure safe, so that you get some more gold in the end. It does stack up at if you constantly have to grind. So those are the only times I'll use, I'll just put it right here, these two coin treasures. But coin treasures, I'll put it at D tier overall, just because it's just not very viable for any of the main gameplays that you have: arena, PvE, guild boss battle, raid, anything like that, just for just farming pretty much. So alright, I'm going to be putting the torch at B tier. Torch is great, however it is not that good. Okay, so let's just say it's good but not that good. All right, forget about the great part. Torch, yes, it does damage. It does, overall damage to the entire team here and there. But it's like the only time you'll actually use it maybe is for that one-shot team that I was talking about once again with the almond, almond, Tiger Lily Ginger Brave comp that you may be running and you need some extra damage. But that's the only time I'll be using the torch. Torch really just doesn't do that much for you in any other mode, especially with the PvE. Even maybe PvE. The only time I would say PvE is worth it is when your only healer is alive. So the only cookie that you have is the healer and you cannot do damage, then maybe sometimes the torch can actually come in handy. But besides that, it's like there's absolutely no reason for you to be using your torch. So I'm gonna be putting the torch at a B tier for me. The horn, Devil's Horn, is going to be at S tier. The reason why is because it's a great starter for all the players out there. Devil's Horn is actually one of the best treasures I would say that you can be farming for in the beginning and also be using. So just increasing your defense of all your cookies by almost over 50%, I think. Let me double check it right. Oh no, it's a 45.4%. That's almost half 50% of whatever you're already getting. So I would definitely recommend you use the Devil's Horn if you're starting off and your basic cookies are just just there and you're trying to survive a little longer. Even for arena, the Devil's Horn is a great option as well. So I'm going to be putting Devil's Horn at an S tier for me. The site is actually going to be bumped down from S tier to A tier. I believe I put it at S tier, but A tier because it's not viable for every single team. This site is going to be great in order to do a little bit more extra damage, but of course the crit is always going to be an RNG factor in the game, and increasing it by 30-something%. Yes, it can be good, but it's not the best, and there are other treasures out there that can be better than the site, and for the S, basically, that are going to be in the S tier that you can be using for your team. Scythe is going to be great if you're just you don't need to have too much of the cooldown or any other like a defense, then you can obviously replace it with the Scythe. But I would say generally cooldown and defense and taking less damage is pretty much going to be the best thing that you can have for your team. So I'm going to be putting the Scythe at A tier for me. I believe it's the Jelly Goo is going to be at a sticky Jelly Goo. I believe that is what Jelly Worm Sticky Goo is going to be at a B tier for me. This is going to be because yes, it does allow invulnerability to one of the cookies. However, it is not that great. It can save lives during PvE if you time it perfectly, but it is not going to be a very strong treasure in my opinion. So I'm going to be putting I'm going to be putting the Jelly Goo at C tier, just because it's not that great, and you don't use this Jelly Goo too much. So we'll be bumping the Jelly Goo down from B tier to C tier, just because I believe it's not that great. The Enchanted Robe is actually going to be at A tier. Enchanted Robe has been used very often, not only in speed comp, guys, but in other comps as well, in almond and rye comp, and as well as other comps that require your healers to actually heal a lot more. So pure vanilla's normal attack is a heal, and if pure vanilla actually gains this attack speed, pure vanilla actually heals a lot more and a lot faster. So I think this treasure has been just been looked at as a most important treasure for a speed comp, but it's not the case. It's actually great in other comps as well, and it can actually help you along with a lot of the team compositions or combinations that are going around in arena as well as PvE. So I would put Enchanted Robe at A tier. Won't be at S tier because it's not as good or as versatile as other treasures that I'll be putting at S tier, but it's still a very great treasure, and it's actually overlooked in a lot of ways with the beginners, especially because it says it's increasing attack speed, but you think it's only for a speed comp. So just keep that in mind. Attack speed goes along. There are different ways that attack speeds affect your cookies in this game. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to be putting the ice cream actually at a B tier. Because yes, ice cream does decrease the enemy's defense, but it's going to be the enemy's, the frontmost enemy's defense. So yes, it is a good treasure for you to use, especially in like a single boss battle. However, you got to realize that it's a very short short timing, as well as it can actually miss the boss if the boss is a boss that basically summons another smaller minion, or another just monsters in front, so that you don't actually target the boss but target the summoned enemy instead. So yes, it can be good, and if you can time it perfectly, yes, but sometimes it's just better to use something that is guaranteed, like the Slingshot. So I'm going to be moving on to the next treasure, which is the Pilgrim Scroll. So scroll is obviously going to be at S tier. You should be using the scroll in every single team comp. Every single one treasure slot should be filled with the scroll. If you don't have the scroll, then obviously you have to try to get it. But if you do have it, even at level 1, you should be using the scroll. It's going to be boosting up your attack of all your cookies, basically. So you just want to be using the scroll at all times. Next one is actually going to be a Slingshot. Slingshot is going to be at A tier. I think I might have put the Slingshot at S tier for the July 2021 tier list. However, it is not viable for every single team composition. It's mainly for a boss battle, and for some arena team comps as well. However, it's mainly for boss. It's going to be great for a lot of different story mode, but I would just say Slingshot is not going to be as versatile as all of these cooked treasures here. So we'll be putting at A tier. Just keep in mind, it is going to decrease the enemy's defense of the rearmost enemy, so mainly for the bosses. So that's why it's a guarantee hit for bosses rather than something like the ice cream here. Next one is going to be the pomegranate's charm, I believe is what it was called. So the paper charm is actually going to be dealing damage to the enemies, and also the nearest enemy, and actually going to be getting rid of all of the buffs from that enemy in particular. However, it's not that great. It's there are little different combination actually that are going around with the almond comp in arena, that you try to just kill off the enemy as soon as possible. So the charm actually can do that. And it does work in PvE as well. It's very similar to this torch, but it's only attacking one enemy. Sometimes when your healers are the only ones alive, then yes, of course, these two treasures can actually save you by dealing some extra damage to the enemies, especially in world exploration mode. So I would just say, charm is still pretty good, and we'll be putting it at B tier. Okay, and next one actually going to be the branch. I'm gonna be putting the branch at CB. I would say B tier mainly, I guess. Yes, the shield, it helps, but it's a very small amount of shield, guys. It's only 17.7% of the target's HP, so it's so small compared to. Actually, it's kind of similar to pure vanilla's. However, it's just like it takes up a treasure slot, and as well as it has a 60-second cooldown. So you basically use it once, and you won't be using it 2 times ever, especially in arena and also maybe in world exploration. But that shield is not going to be doing you that much, and it's also an epic, so it's going to take you a while for you to farm it and level it up. So just keep that in mind. And I would just say if you're going to be using a treasure slot for the branch, then I'll just switch it out for any of these S or A tier. The Jelly Watch is obviously going to be at a S tier, because the cooldown is so important in so many different team compositions, and you know, the jelly watch is just so easy to max out as well, being a common treasure. So you know, I will just be, you know, these three right here, the horn, scroll, and jelly watch are the you know, treasure sets that I actually went with for a very long time until I had specific treasures I needed for specific teams. So I would say this actually is going to be the one of the best, or you know, three of the best treasures out there in the game. I'm actually going to be bumping the feather up to the S tier because, or maybe I might have put it at S tier, but the reason why I'm putting the feather at S tier is because the revive is actually so good in arena as well as in the PvE as well. So if you're and actually it will save you quite a lot in the Tower of Sea Chaos as well, because you know, having that extra life and allowing your cookie to use their skill instantly after they you know, come back alive is a great. And as the level goes up, the amount of HP that you gain is actually coming back, you know, increases a lot too. So, and the feather in general, it just, you know, is being used a lot in arena currently, because, you know, like I said, being able to come back alive to use the skill one more time, it can basically change the tide of the game. So I would say feather is going to be at S tier for me for this month at least. The Flamingo Tube. So Flamingo Tube is actually very interesting. I would say either A or B tier, depending on how you want to use it. At max level, I believe Flamingo Tube is actually increasing your HP of the two cookies with the highest HP, and increasing their maximum HP by 50% at level 12. And that is max, and you got to keep in mind Flamingo Tube is an epic treasure. So I would say yes, it will help your tanks to heal, or your tank a little more, but I would say if you're going to have that, then you know, you're just going to have to farm a lot more. 50% at level 12 is very hard to get, guys. So mine currently is at level 2 and is actually increasing the HP by 27.3%. So not much at level 2. And you gotta realize it takes a long time for your epic treasure to get to level 12. So I would say Flamingo Tube, yes, it is great, but not that great. So putting at B tier. And the Monocle actually going to be at an A tier. I would say Monocle, yes, it is a little bit hard to get, but you gotta realize you're getting a debuff purification as well as some heal to your cookies. And actually been seeing a lot of Monocle in the arena as well. It's very interesting seeing diamonds using the Monocle for their team. I guess you know, sometimes when you gotta realize when herb you know, gives the purification, the guy needs to be, you know, guy needs to be able to use the skill. He's not going to purify the stun if he's stunned, right? So Monocle can actually do that for you instead of having, you know, a cookie healing and purifying and not being able to do it all the time. The Monocle can do it every single time, so it can definitely help. And the heal, extra heal helps as well. So I'll be putting the Monocle actually at A tier for this tier list. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be it. I hope this video was helpful for you guys, and you know, let me know down in the comments if you guys agree with the tier list or not, and what you guys will change if you guys disagree with it. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys found this video helpful. Thanks for watching once again, and I'll see you guys next time.